Something interesting has been happening lately. Vinyl records are coming back, so are cassettes, CDs, physical books, and in general, just physical media. And I think that part of it has to do with nostalgia, but I think it goes a lot deeper than that. I believe that the more we are engrossed in this digital world that moves really fast, the more people are going to be craving slow physical experiences that feel a little more intentional. And so today I want to talk about exactly that, this physical media phenomenon, how it ties into our attention, our brain, and the technology in our lives. If we haven't met yet, my name is Isabel, and on this channel we talk all about embracing your weird in order to build a better brand, business, and life. So let's go. One of the strange things about modern life is that everything that we do, or most things at least, now live here. All the things that we like doing, like reading, listening to music, communicating with others, it all happens in a single little device. And there is a benefit to that, of course, and it's the fact that you can have everything at your fingertips all at once at any time that you want. But there's also some not so positive things, like the fact that before you were never interrupted while you were doing the thing that you wanted to do. Now, if you are listening to music, you might get a notification on your phone that a message came through which interrupted your song. So you pause it, you go check the message, you reply, then you get out of your message app and go check Instagram, scroll for 2 hours, and then you realize you never actually finished the song you were listening to. Not only that, but inside the music app itself, you're getting recommendations for songs that you may or may not like, and you're not necessarily listening to what you want to listen to. Nowadays, digital media has almost become additional background noise in our lives instead of the thing that we go to experience, the thing that we intentionally experience. And that is a problem. A while back, I watched the Social Dilemma documentary on Netflix, and there was a phrase that really stuck with me that said something like, if it is free, you are the product. And it was talking about social media and how social media is free because we, the humans, are the products, because the people who pay for social media are the people who are running ads. And in social media, what we give them is all of our information so they can target ads so that we buy more things. And that really stuck with me, right? Because it made me realize that not just social media, but in general, all of these subscription services want our attention because our attention is incredibly valuable. What we pay attention to, the information that we share, are things that they can use to sell more to us. So we are the product. And that is the little problem with this. The autoplay feature that keeps recommending music that you may not have listened to, or videos or podcasts or things. The infinite scroll, which means that you will always have more things to look at. The notifications that are making your phone buzz and making your brain turn around to look at it once again. All of these things add up to take up our attention, and it's causing a big problem. Now, this is not even a judgment because that's just their business model, right? We choose to engage with it or not. We can choose to live a social media free life, a Netflix free life. We just don't decide to do that. It does mean that if we're not intentional with how we interact with digital media, our lives can become a little crazy. I don't know what the word for it would be. They can become less intentional, and we stop making choices, and we stop really enjoying the things that we used to enjoy. This is where I think an important shift has to happen in our perspective. Technology isn't the enemy. The digital revolution is not the enemy, but we need to be intentional in how we engage with it. Technology is a tool, and we need to be intentional in how we use it. If you decided to use a hammer to clean your mirror, it would not work. Same thing goes for technology. If we use it to decide everything on our lives, it'll probably make choices that we're not so happy with. And we're kind of doing that already, just subconsciously. So we need to make this conscious. And I think that's partly why physical media is making a comeback, because it allows you to say, okay, is this tool serving me or am I serving it? And the answer might be both, but it's also about, is it serving you more than you're serving it, or vice versa, right? How can I use this tool to create a more intentional life? How can I use this tool to improve my life? How can I use this tool to make me happier, make me feel more joy? A quick example in there with social media is unfollow anyone that makes you feel unhappy, that makes you feel jealous, that triggers you. Just follow people that bring you joy. And I know that that might sound a little bit like I'm saying to never engage with someone with a different opinion than yours, and that's not what I'm saying, but you need to protect your spaces. You can go engage and look for and find that content and find those conversations when you are in the right mindset and headspace to go and find and engage with those conversations. In your day-to-day life, you just need things that make you happy, bring you joy, and bring you peace. So the thing that physical media is really good at doing is creating containers for attention. And attention spans are reducing like almost day to day in the world. People have really short attention spans nowadays, partly because of digital media. And so physical media creates these containers where this is the one thing we're focused on. If you buy a vinyl, you can't go, I mean, you could, but it would be really annoying to switch from artist to artist, from album to album, and randomly shuffle all of these songs, right? Because you'd have to take out the vinyl, put it, and so when you choose to play a vinyl, you're usually choosing to listen to an album from start to finish, which is great for appreciating art and music because you're seeing the full piece of work and not just tiny slivers of it. It's great with physical books because you actually get more immersed in what you're reading because you're not getting distracted by a notification popping up on your phone while you're reading it. With digital media, music, you can randomly shuffle between albums, between artists, between different genres. You can create playlists, and this obviously has its positives as well, but it becomes background noise. How many of you have turned on an audiobook or a podcast or music on in the background while you do something else, only to find that you didn't actually pay attention to the music or the podcast or the audiobook? And especially if it's an audiobook or a podcast, then you rewind it to listen to it again, to pay attention this time, but then you start doing things and you did not pay attention again because it's not the container. It's not the right container for you to pay attention to that media. I'm not against audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks. I listen to podcasts. I love listening to music on my phone. It's more about what are the moments in which we're okay with this being background noise, and what are the moments in which we would prefer to have our attention settled on this one thing. Somewhere along the way, with this becoming background noise, our joy became background noise. People used to gather together to listen to a new album and enjoy it. And now that doesn't happen as often. People used to gather to watch a movie, and that doesn't happen as often. Book clubs are coming back, but for a while, there wasn't a physical reunion of a book club because everyone was reading ebooks. And it's not that we've stopped enjoying these things. It's that they've somehow become absorbed into the background of all the other stimulation that's around us. So if you're a person who used to read a lot and now you don't read as much, have you tried a physical book lately? We need to change the way that we engage with media. And whether that means setting more controls onto how we interact with digital media, or starting to embrace physical media more again, and creating those containers for attention where we can really enjoy the things that we used to enjoy, I think there's something really important in that conversation. The more intentional and slow our lives move, the more that we enjoy our lives, the more peace we bring into our lives, the more our nervous system is regulated, the more our attention and our focus increases, the less stress we feel, the more we can relax, the better we can rest, the clearer we can think. Now, I do need to acknowledge, obviously, that Physical media does come with privilege, right? A physical book is more expensive than a Kindle book or an ebook. A physical vinyl tends to be more expensive than your streaming service if you were to buy all the vinyls of all the music that you generally listen to in a month. But what I want you to consider is how you can create, within the means that you have, an environment where your physical media becomes a container for your joy and a container for you to rest and a container for you to live a slower, more intentional life. Which doesn't mean getting rid of the digital media. It just means having different containers and different things for different moments so that you can be more intentional with how you engage in your digital world as well. I encourage you this week to see if there's any difference in how you feel when you're engaging with physical media versus digital media. Like, I know that I love reading physical books a lot more than digital books. I focus better. I like the feeling of the book in my hand. I like sitting up and curling with a book instead of my phone or my computer. And that is a different experience for me. And I don't own vinyl or physical media in the form of music, but I know for a lot of my friends, that's the way vinyls feel for them. That physical media of, choosing a vinyl, putting it on the player, etc. That whole ritual is important to them, and it turns it into a different experience. And I would love to know, is there something in your life that feels better when it happens off your phone instead of on your phone? Music, journaling, movies, anything? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps this channel grow. I make new videos like this every single Friday. So until then, stay wild, stay weird, and I will see you